Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to day number 5 of the 2024 Student Orientation Week. Welcome to all of you, wherever you are joining us from, on YouTube, on this particular platform, MS Teams. If you are joining us on your device, on campus, or using the facilities, the venues that are available on campus in the different regions of the university. Welcome to each and every one of you, and thank you for joining us again this morning. My name is Lekao Rachidi. I'm the head of the Student Retention Unit. Many of you had joined us in various sessions in the past week, some of which I was facilitating, so we are getting acquainted. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you would have seen that the today's round of orientation sessions were postponed from Friday last week because it clashed with the official opening of the institution. I hope you were able to join the official opening and get to hear what the principal had to say, principal and VC had to say about what the university has planned going forward. I'm going to, as you have seen in the program, we are going to start with the Student Communication Services Center, and we are going to hear from them what they have in store for you as students from a communication point of view, in terms of the various ways in which you can reach out to the institution and get help and support and assistance in whatever number of different queries you may have. With those, I want to just indicate that the chat box is open. And as you were able to gather from the many sessions you may have attended last week, that we discourage and humbly request that we make use of the chat to direct questions and make comments to the issues raised in the presentation at hand. In other words, when we are talking about communication platforms, please limit your questions to the presentation that is being made here and refrain from posting any personal information in the chat box. You never know who is here and what they will use your cell phone number or any other information that is of a personal nature that you could post in the chat. All right, so it's open. The chat is open. Please go ahead and do make your comments or pose your questions there. All right, so I'm going to hand over now to Majesty Sifolo. She is going to introduce herself and introduce her team and deliver the presentations that they have planned for you. Majesty, if you are here, please take the floor.
Good morning, our dear students. Thank you very much for giving us this opportunity to present to you this morning. Thank you, Mr. Lekao, for the opening. My name is Jessie Sifulu. I am the Deputy Director for the Student Communication Service Center, which is the SCSC, the environment that was established to assist with your student inquiries. I am with Kwanele Bidla, Ms. Kwanele Bidla, who is going to be taking you through the presentation. I'm also with Mr. Jose Napo, who will also be joining us in doing this presentation. Looking forward to spending this hour with you, telling you more about our environment, and we will take the questions on the chat, give more clarity on how to reach us. when to reach us using our current operating hours, which is Monday to Saturday, Monday to Friday being 8 o'clock to 7 o'clock in the evening, and on Saturday we operate until 2 in the afternoon. So we're looking forward to spending this morning with you. I will now hand over to Ms. Bidla to take you through the Communication Service Center and take you through on how we do the operations in support of your inquiries. Thank you very much. Ms. Bidla.
Thank you so much, Ms. Sefulo. Good morning, our beloved students. My name is Kwanele Bidla from the Student Communication Center. I will be taking you through the presentation of how the SCSC operates and our purpose as the department. So the SCSC, it is a customer service-centered environment, centralized for all student inquiries, established to be a one-stop shop for student support, making it a dream of one number, one email address for all inquiries a reality, covering the entire student walk or your academic journey. Our primary purpose is to provide you, our beloved students, with efficient and effective support and service. And we are driven by the 3 C's of customer service, which emphasize caring, cooperating, and communication. So we are here to serve you through communication. Our goal and objective, it is to provide you with a top-notch service to you, our beloved student. By providing that quality service, we are here and commit ourselves to answer all calls that are coming through the department within 60 seconds, having less than 30% of unanswered calls. We are also here resolving more than 80% of incoming calls within the contact center. We also commit to resolve your inquiries within 48 working hours. We're managing inquiries end-to-end for the entire student walk, which is your application until the graduation phase. Our support entry points, which we have, I think it's 5 of them. You would be aware of them as we receive your inquiries through these various entry point. I'm so sorry about that. So the contact center operates from Monday to Friday, 8 to 7 o'clock in the evening, and on Saturdays we are open from 8 until 2 in the afternoon. We operate via 5 entry points, which is email, telephone, social media, self-help, live chat. So you can communicate with us through those entry points. My advice to you is that kindly utilize all of them, because we are available in all these platforms to assist you. But we understand that most of our students will rather communicate with us via the 0800 number. So we have various email addresses that you can reach us depending on the nature of your inquiry. For the general inquiries from the student walk, which is application until registration. For example, if you don't have a student number as yet, we will regard that as a general inquiry. So you can call us or rather email us. The email address is enquire@unisa.ac.za. And then if you have queries that are related to your data inquiries, maybe you have changed your number, however, you're still not getting your data, or you haven't received your data at all. For the month or the entire registered period, you can email us using the data queries at unisa.ac.za. Then we have my module support email address, all the queries that are related to Moodle. Maybe you have registered, however, your modules are not yet linked to MyUNISA. You can reach us via the email address, which is mymodule2022@unisa.ac.za. Then we have the exam inquiries email address, which is critical, especially during this time of the year. So you need to email us via examinquiries@unisa.ac.za. And we have this burning issue or inquiries that we are receiving a lot during this time of day, of course, and after you have registered, which is MFA related student inquiries. You can email us via mylifehelp@unisa.ac.za. Registered students who have claimed their MyLife email account, you are advised, or rather it is recommended or even compulsory for you to communicate with us using your MyLife email address. And then other platforms that we have, or rather support entry points, it will be live chat. We are available on the UNISA homepage under MyLife homepage. You can communicate with us. We are live chatting with you, warm body behind that platform. We are there for you. You can actually feel the warmth. And then we have self-help for those inquiries that are really not complex. You can just go there, familiarize yourself, look for answers. The information is available. We also have the chatbot, which runs through the entire, 24 hours. You can just go there, chats with that board. If you don't get the answer that you are looking for, then you can escalate it to communicate with a warm body behind the board. The queries, or rather the answers that you will get for now in that platform, it will be application-related inquiries, registration-related inquiries, exemptions of study units and inquiries, and your final year audits. For now, we are working on expanding that platform with more frequently asked questions. We also have the social chats, which is our Facebook and Twitter. I will then move to the next slide, which we will speak of how we SCSC operate. So we thought it would be a good idea to actually provide you with a preview of how we operate, especially with the call and the email platform, because it is the mostly used by our students. So this is the flow of our call. So you will call the 0800 number, which is toll free. When you call that number, you will then have, or rather listen to the welcoming message. And then we have various options there that you can choose, depending again on the nature of the inquiry that you have for the day. So if you have a query that is related to registration, you will then press 1. For MyLife and MyUNISA, those MFA student inquiries, maybe you haven't been assisted with the license, you can then choose option 2. Then we move to library related inquiries. We move to the critical one, remember, which is exams. So during this time of the period, you must just know that for you to be assisted during that exam, you need to make sure that you press option 4. We always have colleagues that are able to assist us with the queries that are related to exam. And then we have financial, inquiries, your financial cancellation, your outstanding balances, the modules to be reinstated, and so forth. You then have that option, which is 5 for those related student inquiries. For graduations and certificate, you haven't collected your certificate, you would like to know your graduation date, although we communicate with our students via MyLife, but some of our students will prefer to give us a call so that we can have that chat with them. So you will choose option 5. And then for my modules, it's option 7. For general inquiries, again, for those students maybe who are not yet registered with the institution, they're just calling to find out the qualifications that we offer, short learning programs, the fees, and so forth, the method of studying with the institution. So those are regarded as general inquiries. And then we have option 9 for persons with disability. And then after those options, then the call will be, after you have pressed that option, the call will be allocated to the available agent. So the agent will then answer that call, attempt to resolve the inquiry. If the query falls within the 80% of the queries that we are able to resolve, we'll be glad to assist you, close the query, and please ensure that when you leave the call, you have the case number for that call for maybe follow-ups or just to prove that you called the institution. In cases whereby we are unable to resolve your student inquiries, in our environment, we call that a complex inquiry. Not that it's really that complex, it's just that maybe within the contact center, we do not have the resources to actually answer or rather resolve your inquiry. I'll make an example. When we speak of the registration, you have submitted your registration, you have paid the payment, and the 14 days has elapsed. So it means that query is complex. Something is wrong somewhere. Then you will call us. We'll then advise you that since we are unable to resolve the inquiry, we will then have to escalate it to the relevant department. In this case, it will be our registration department. On that call again, that is complex, you will be provided with a case number so that when the query is not resolved within the turnaround time that has been provided to you, you are welcome to call the institution and make the follow-up. And the only way we can assist you, it is for you to provide us with the case number so that we can trace how far that query is. After it has been sent out within our department, remember we are unable to resolve it, it falls within the 20%. Then we send it to our registrations department, they be able to assist us. We track, let's say it's resolved within or rather after. If it's resolved within the turnaround time, we communicate with you. You will receive an email confirming that your registration has been processed. If not, it's that complex, we'll still call you again to inform you that kindly be patient with us, your query is still being resolved. Once that has been done, or rather once the query is closed or resolved, then we close it on our side. We are done with that query. That is our call flow when you call us using that 0800 number. We have queries that we can resolve and we have queries that we cannot resolve. And both those inquiries should have a case number. Then I will move to the email flow. So as I said, that most of our students via email and via the telephone platform being the famous one. So what happens is that, remember the email addresses that I have shared on my previous slide? We have all those 5 email addresses. They actually, yes, 5 of them, which is inquire, data queries, my modules, exams, and my life. So we receive those we receive emails via those email addresses, and then the email will be assigned to the next available agent. The agent will then attend to that query. If the query is not complex or falls within the 80%, meaning that we are able to resolve it, maybe you are emailing regarding your change of cell phone number, you are emailing us regarding a request of academic record, you are emailing us with related to the outstanding balance. We are able to resolve that inquiry. We provide you with the information, we close the query. And remember, when you email us using these email addresses, you will receive a case number immediately. So you keep that case number to actually make a follow-up. So if the query is resolved, we close it, we provide you with the information. If the query is complex, falls under the 20%, we will then escalate it using the same method. We will then escalate it to the back office or our interdependencies, depending on the query again. If it's complex related to finance, we will then escalate it to our finance department. Excuse me, we make a follow-up to trace how far the query is. If the query is resolved within the turnaround time that we have provided you with, then you will receive an email via My Life to say that your query has been resolved, here is the information. But if it takes longer than anticipated, then we'll make a follow-up to trace how far is the query and communicate with you to say that kindly be patient with us as we try to resolve your inquiry. And then we have the escalation flow, which basically speaks of the queries that are complex, that we are unable to resolve in our environment. So if the query is complex, it highlights the flags in certain issues within the SCSC, and then also it can occur in various of reasons that we are unable to resolve it within our space, meaning that maybe we don't have the resources, or perhaps it is not our skill to actually resolve that query. So we currently have 4 resources for that entry point. Remember, the 20% of the inquiries that we are unable to resolve, we are comfortable with that because, of course, we have support from the interdependencies. No matter how you can be good as a department, you cannot do it alone. So we work as a chain in the University of South Africa. So we'll then escalate those student inquiries that are complex to our product owners, because it means they own that product. Hence, we are unable to resolve it within our space. So currently we have 4 resources that are assigned to escalate those inquiries, to communicate when the query is resolved, to trace if the query has not been resolve. So we actually receive high volume of calls depending on the phase. Within the student work, we are mostly busy during this time of the year because, remember, we work with application related inquiries, registration which is sometimes complex, and exams. So sometimes we do not stick to the turnaround time because of the volumes of those inquiries that are complex. Having said that, thank you so much to our beloved students. I have my colleague, Mr. Nabo, who will be taking us through the several entry points. Remember, however, he will then focus on the chat and self-help. Thank you so much. Mr. Nabo, over to you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Bigla. Thank you very much, colleagues. Good morning, everyone. My name is Jose Lonapo. I'm going to share my screen with you. I'm going to take you through our technical presentation. So I'm just going to display my screen. Good morning once more. Let me show my screen. Yeah. Good morning, everyone. Thank you very much for joining today's presentation. So in an era where the digital interactions have become a norm, ensuring seamless communication and robust security measures is very, very much paramount rather. So today we're going to explore into 3 pillars that underpin modern online experiences, which is live chats, self-help, and also multi-factor authentication, which is also known as MFA. So together we'll explore how these elements not only enhance users' engagement, but also fortify the digital ecosystem against the evolving threats. So let's embark on this journey to unlock the potential live chat, empower users with self-help resources, and also to fortify our system with multi-factor authentication. So welcome to the conversation. I will start with the MFA. So colleagues, now as maybe majority of you have noticed that whenever you log in on my modules, it requests you to sign in through my UNISA, through my life. So it is very much important that each and every user authenticate whenever they log in into their student systems or student profile. We avoid perpetrators to log in on someone's profile without any authorization. So my life is a system that assists us to authenticate. So we have two types of authenticating, which is your mobile app and also SMS. So the first authentication method, which is the default, it will be your authentication app, right? But majority of students, we have realized that the pattern is that they don't like authentication app. Rather, they are comfortable with the cell phone authentication. So how do you change from, or how do you use an app? Rather, before I go to a cell phone, you have to go to download an app. It works very fine on both Android and iOS iPhone operating system. So you can also go and download it there, install it, and then configure it. We also share our manual on our self-help, which is something I'm going to show you after this presentation. So with changing a multi-factor authentication app to which is what you're comfortable with, the cell phone number, you can always call us on the number Ms. Biga showed, the 0800 number, or as well send us an email to mylifehelp@unisa.ac.za. But however, majority of students now, they are comfortable with going to our computer lab, which are on all the regions from Polokwane, Gauteng, and also Durban, and so on and so on. Then our trained computer lab assistant will be able to assist you with authentication. So they will also contact us if it is urgent, if you are writing exam, and then we'll change it from authenticating with an app to a cell phone. So I'll just quickly show you how to log in on your MyLife. You will put your password. However, on me it won't ask me to authenticate because I'm the admin and I'm using a UNISA network. But with you, after we have successfully changed it, it will prompt you whether you want to authenticate using a text or app. So if you don't find an app very much useful, you can contact us. We will change the cell phone, the app to the cell phone. Secondly, there's a pattern that students always get, even if you are using a cell phone authentication. You only find out that your cell phone is outdated and it only captures the old cell phone. So how do you do that? You also call us or send an email. If it's urgent, you can also visit our computer labs. So second, the other method or other frequently asked question, students, when they forgot their passwords, they always call us, while you can go to our UNISA system and put in your details, your surname, full names, date of birth, and your ID number. If you are a student outside the country, of course, you'll put your foreign ID passport, and then you submit. Then you will get an SMS password that you are going to use whenever you log in on MyLife and your MyUNISA. The password that you're going to receive is the password that you're going to use on both MyLife and MyUNISA. So our beloved students, I need to iterate to you that each and every time when you log in, you must you must authenticate. And if you feel like someone hacked you, you need to call us urgently as possible. Then we will take you through the steps, which I cannot iterate here for security reasons. And then the other part is international students, how international students authenticate. You also have, if you are an international student, you have to authenticate using an app, or if you want to use a text through your cell phone, you need to specify the country code. If it's +27, which is our country code, you need to specify if yours is +55, +11, and so on, because we are struggling to understand which one is the code. So that one is very much important. So the turnaround time each and every time when you call us, especially after receiving your call, especially if you are writing exam, it should be immediate. We assist you. We have various platforms where we can communicate or be able to assist you. One of them being the computer labs. We have JOG and so on. So another one, colleagues, there are those ones, I'm sure you have experienced them. They say they are using a new phone. They no longer have the old phone. So as a result, they cannot authenticate on the new phone. You also have to call us, and then we will revoke the session from the other phone, and then it will allow you to log in on another phone. So I'll move on to the incarcerated students. Incarcerated students are students who are studying from prison. And then as well, we have a procedure or processes that we need to follow when coming to incarcerated students. So the incarcerated students, we need an incarceration letter from the prison, and then we follow the processes that we need to send to the registration department. The registration department need to verify indeed the letter is authentic, and then from there we send it to ICT. ICT will be able to assist us so that the student can log in without any problem. Also, we have a community of students who are ACSWIT, in simple words, students who are having disabilities. So we check with the Department of ACSWIT what tools they are using. If you are comfortable with using a text or the voice to authenticate, we also do so, but we accommodate you on your special needs. So now there are those students which are just registered today, and then tomorrow, immediately when they register today, they claim My Life or My UNISA. You will not be able to log in on My UNISA or My Life immediately. You will have to wait for 48 hours for the license to be assigned to you. So registering, we're not speaking about the TP. TP is a temporary registrations. We're speaking from the day of processing the payment. Then we start to count from there 48 hours. Should it be that 48 hours has passed without logging in, and then you have to call us, and then we'll manually assign the license to you. So on the presentation or taking you through the MFA, I'm done on that one. I'll move to self-help, which is something I'm going to also display on my screen. So this is self-help. This is a tool that many people or many students, they don't use, and which is very much powerful. So self-help, with the information that we have here, you don't have to even call us, because some of the questions are the questions which are already answered on the FAQs question, which is self-help. So we've added this link here. Immediately when you click it, you will see that this system, it is built in articles form. So we take frequently asked questions, and then we answer them in an article form. So each and every time we visit these articles and update them, those ones which are outdated, and then we always update them. So I'll just give you a few examples from few departments. We have trending articles, we have library, and then examination, finance, and so on. So I will start with library exams. So you can explore more articles, right? So you will find, I'll just give you more examples. Will the examination continue to be online? And then when you click here, and then immediately the self-help populates the information or the answer through article. So it will ask you, was this useful or satisfying? If you say yes, it will show us in a sense, or in a form of stats. If you say no, and then we'll also take suggestions. But however, you can even explore more, load more. You can even say my module doesn't appear on the site, and then it will provide you with an answer, right? So in other words, students, before they can contact us, we encourage students to help themselves through FAQ questions and self-help. After exploring that, you can even go back by clicking home here, and then you can go to library and load more topics. And we also take suggestions from you that this question is not answered, and we'll always populate it there. But there's a team behind which is allocated for this particular tool to update it each and every week. So how renewing library material, I'll give you the last one, and then I will just say library loan, and then it will answer your question. But however, let's say whatever that we explored here, you still feel like your questions are not answered, then that's when you'll need to go back to the home page, and then the bubble here. This is where you will find. So okay, this is one way of finding FAQ questions or self-help. And another method, on our bubble here, we have a self-help FAQ. Even when you click here, it will still take you to our FAQ questions. So I'm not going to explain it as I've explained it before, and then I will just go to another tools, which is the chatbot. So now, colleagues, with a chatbot, this is a tool that has been deployed, I think, this year, but it is an ongoing project. So in other words, this system is still at phase 1. So we'll have other phases, integrations. We'll have other phases in terms of having other departments deployed here, MFA being one of them. So now these ones, we call them the options, right? So it allows you, or it populates the message that says, hi, I'm a user chatbot. Feel free to ask me any question or explore the options below. So the first options on this project for phase 1 is applications, registrations, exemptions, and finally audits. So when we are at the last phase of this implementation, you should be able to help yourself here from A up to Z. If even if you need your student number, you need to know how much you owe, and also another phase, it will be having this system integrated with our mobile app. But without going very far on that one, I will show you how you can use this tool. So this tool, you can use it in different way, or 2 different ways rather. You can explore the options, or you can ask it any question that you can write here. So now I'm going to explore one question, one option, which is applications. Immediately when you click applications, it will say, please make a selection from the options below. So you want to apply and register at UNISA for 2024, or you just need more information. So if you just need more information, you click more information. So this one is for potential students. They just want to know information about applications. So now it will further explore or give you or channel you to options that are populated, which is I've applied at UNISA 2024. When will I receive a feedback, and so on. So now let's just click this one. And then now what it does with the first phase, it directs you to our corporate page, which by the form of links. So if you say, if you want to explore the link, and then it will direct you to what we call the ideal page, right? So after clicking that, it will tell you so okay, I'm not going to read this one, but what is important is here, can I help you with anything else? If you say no, it will say, was this helpful? This is where it is very much important, colleagues. If you say, was this helpful? And if you say no, right? And then it will say, it will escalate you to what we call the live chat. So if, in other words, if the chatbot couldn't assist you, automatically it's going to escalate you to the live chat, which is the home body behind, which Ms. Bigler spoke about. So do you want to speak to the home body behind or the live agent? To say yes, and then now it says wait for 5 minutes. So now it is escalating me to the live chat. So estimated wait time before I can speak to the agent now is 6 minutes. So now it's not always that you will wait for 6 minutes. It use time depending on the load that is currently there in the inbox of available agents. So if they don't have enough or they don't have too much load, it can even say 2 minutes. Then after that, let's say 6 minutes pass, because we are not going to wait for 6 minutes. It should be able to send you here the live chat, which is the last part, which I'm going to speak to you about. You need to provide us with your name. I'll just put my name, email address. This email address is very much important so that when you drop the call, we can always follow up, because you can wait and then you decide to terminate the session. We call them sessions. So if you terminate the session, and then we can be able to follow up with you on the email. So it is very much important to put your email address, and correctly so. And then your phone numbers, not important. But now I'm going to ask my question. Hi. Now when you start conversation, and then it will show you that now you have to wait for estimated 7 minutes. So now here is the last resort of escalation. We know that majority of students will just like to come here, but you don't have to wait for an agent, while there's other tools which can be able to assist you, which is your self-help and the chatbots. So now let's say you are being assisted, and then it will show you who are you chatting with, whether Carol, whether Ms. Sifolo, and so on. And then they will be able to respond to you. You can be able to attach anything that you want here, and be able to be assisted from here. Then the last point that I'm going to narrate is our Facebook. So what I'm showing you, colleagues, is that students, they like to hold too much on the phone or on the queue, while we have majority of entry points. You can use the live chat, you can use self-help, or you can use even our main page, which is a Facebook page. If you go to your Facebook, and you search UNISA page, and then by the DMs we have a team that is fully behind the DMs, which is also live exactly like this one. Will be able to respond to you instantly, so you can be able to ask us any questions. And majority of students, they post the questions on our page, and we are unable to attend to post, but if you DM us, we'll be able to assist you. So the best part about the chatbot is that if there's any question that is unanswered, and then the system each and every day sends us the questions which are not successfully answered, and then we can deploy them with answers. And then what I like about it is that it operates 24 hours and it doesn't go on leave, doesn't go on strike, and then you can be able to utilize it each and every time when you want it. So I'm going to reiterate on how you can contact with us as I'm closing, Chairperson. mylife@unisa.ac.za, or you can send to my modules. But if you are writing exams, it is very much important to disclose that, and also visit our nearest computer labs, and we'll be able to assist you immediately. Thank you very much for your time, Chairperson. I'm heading over to Ma'am Jessie again. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Napo. Thank you, Ms. Bidla. Thank you, Ms. Sifolo, for the presentation. And I see there's a lot of appreciation in the audience. Please stay with us for the next session. In the next 13 minutes, we'll deal with the questions that students have raised. But I want to start with 2 of my own. I had 3, and the MFA was well presented. Thank you, Mr. Napo. One of my 2 questions relates to how students should what are the things that students should include when they make an email inquiry? I am part of the colleagues who deal with the FYE@unisa.ac.za, and sometimes students just say, good day, I have a problem, please assist, and we are not able to know any detail regarding what kind of assistance they need. So I think it's an important aspect if you, Mr. Napo or Ms. Kwanele, are able to assist the students in making sure that when they're sent email inquiries, that they put all the relevant information needed. Of course, they should be doing so from their MyLife email address. Over to you, Mr. Napo. Or Ms. Bidla, if you would like to take it. Just some pointers for the students.
Thank you, Mr. Lichidi. That question is relevant. Thank you so much for raising it. If students are emailing us using our different email addresses, the first thing that is important is the student number on the subject line. Preferably, the student number must be on the subject line. I will make an example with the query that is related to exams, maybe. So you need to provide us with sufficient information for us to understand the nature of the inquiry, what is required from us, and if possible, kindly attach the screenshots so that we can have an idea exactly where the problem is. Queries that are general, you need to provide us with sufficient information for us to actually understand what you need from us. Because if you don't do that, it will be back and forth, which is time wasting. Instead of me working on your query now and close it, I will then have to email you back, prompt you, what is your student number? What is the problem? So yes, thank you so much for that question. It is valid, your student number and the exact problem would really appreciate, so that we are able to, resolve to inquiry promptly. Thank you so much.
Okay, great. That's great. And I think students have taken note of that because otherwise there will be delays in getting to the bottom of the inquiries that they may have. All right, so I'm going to quickly go into the chat. There was a little bit of confusion about today's session. I personally sent SMSs on Thursday to say, hey guys, Friday, we have to reschedule. Even this morning, I sent out a reminder to students through an SMS to say, remember that we are meeting today, and thank you for that. And apologies for those who may have missed it. And I must also say that once you have registered, please just make sure that you update your contact details, because for some of the SMSs they didn't go through because it said either there's an SMS a phone number missing or an invalid number. So maybe missing digits in your cell phone number. So please do visit my UNISA, my admin, so that you can be able to make sure your contact details are updated. If you struggle, you will get assistance from the colleagues who are presenting here on those contact details they've provided, and so on. All right, so let me just try a few. I hope you are still with me, Ms. Bidla and Mr. Napo. There was some interesting questions that I noted that I wanted to bring to your attention. Many of which, by the way, have been responded to, and I've seen that the 5 email addresses have also been posted in the chat. Students can be able to access them from them. There are questions that relate to classes, and I see one student is asking, when do lectures start? And I see another one that says, I would like to know if the remaining outstanding fees should be paid strictly according to the months provided on the invoice, or I can pay anyhow as long as I pay the full amount by the end of the academic year. So maybe one of you, 2 colleagues can take that one up. Just note it's about whether students are required to strictly adhere to that payment plan. If you have an answer there. All right, there's one that I'm looking for specifically relating to classes. Someone was asking if students are allowed to attend classes if they have an outstanding balance due to their module. So I want to address that one along with the earlier one that I read out. If students had completed the MOOC, the application MOOC, the FYE 009-101-2024, you would have noted in there that we are already saying that at UNISA you will have no classes. You will not have the traditional classes where you've got a timetable that you will have to go to class on a daily basis. Instead, in some modules, the lecturers will have online classes, which will be communicated to you through announcements or through tutorial letters. You will also have tutorial classes in certain modules that you are enrolled for, so it's not all of the modules. Other than that, we've got a lot of workshops and training sessions that will be scheduled by various departments. So I'm sensing that some of the students may not have internalized the information that was part of the MOOC that you had to complete when you accepted your application, but also that you may have missed many of last week's sessions. And if you are one of those who did, today, latest tomorrow, you will receive an email. Please do look out for that email. It's got links to all of the sessions from last week that you may have missed, and you'll get more information about that. Okay. And then another interesting question, are we going to be provided with laptops, data, and desktop And I see a number of people are also waiting to hear a response from that. As far as the university is concerned, students have to self-provide devices for study purposes. So you would have your phone, you would have a laptop of your own or that is provided by your own means. If not, we have where some of you are currently attending this session in the various regions and centers, there are computer labs that you can make use of the devices that are provided there. But as was presented earlier, you should be getting data on a monthly basis. That is what is provided, and you did have an email address that you can send inquiries to in case you do not get your data. If it is delayed or whatever the reason may be, just make sure that your contact details are always up to date as earlier indicated. Kwanele, if I can ask about the payment structure, whether they need to strictly adhere to it and whether they will be allowed to do any other academic activity if they have outstanding fees.
Thank you, Mr. Rachidi. You don't really have to adhere to the payment plan. For example, when you register with the institution, you are expected to pay the minimum fee due for your registration. So that is paid. For semester modules, the due date for the remaining outstanding balance will be the 31st of March. If that is not done, there's a process that will kick in, which is financially cancellation. So your modules will be financially cancelled. And then when you write, the modules will be reinstated. So it means, or rather the best advice is you need to make sure that your fees are paid fully by the time you sit for the exam. If all not possible, by the time we release your results, your study fees for that period, which is semester modules, should be paid so that you will be able to access your results. So it's basically up to you how you pay your study fees, as long as by the time that you sit for the exam or by the time that we release the result, your fees are paid fully for that particular semester or a year course. For example, for year modules, it's the minimum payment. We have the second payment, which is due by the 15th of May. If that is not paid by the 15th of May, the financially cancellation process will kick in. Your modules will be financially cancelled. And then when you sit for the exam, we reinstate the modules. So you need to make sure by the time that we release the result for the year, your fees are paid fully. In terms of, or rather answering the question to say, do you have access to MyLife and MyUNISA if you have outstanding fees? That will depend on whether you are a returning student or a first-time student. So when you register, you are expected to claim MyUNISA login. So you will be able to proceed with your academic year. It will not affect your studying fees, will not affect any of the platforms. However, your results will be withheld. So you will be able to access your MyLife and MyUNISA. I'm not sure if or rather my module, I'm not sure if I understand correctly. But if you have study fees outstanding, you are able to submit your exams, you are able to participate in your academic journey. It will not affect you until the results are released. Thank you, Mr. Rachidi, back to you.
Thank you, Kwanele. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we've got 2 minutes left and I see a number of inquiries. Colleagues are going to continue to respond to as many of you in the chat. Please just cast your eyes in the chat as you go along the day for responses to those particular questions. Many of your questions are from the from NSFAS, and I just want to, in closing, just share my screen a little bit and just show you that the next session is on student development. The session that follows is on student assessment and administration, all about your assignments, your examinations, and I know issues of invigilation is also something you are curious about, so please do join that session on a different link. If you go to that schedule, the same way you access this session, please do join the next session as well. The session that's starting at 12, this is your Student Representative Council. They are the people that represent you and your voice and your challenges, and making sure that the university does do something about the challenges that you have. So please do join us then. And the last session for the day, for those student inquiries relating to NSFAS and other funding related matters, please do join us then. Okay, so as I indicated, we have run out of time, but you will get responses to the questions through the chat as you were already getting that. And let us now switch to the next session on student development, and let's hear what they have in store for you there. Thank you very much.